If you've arrived at this message, it means your energy signature has crossed a vibrational threshold, one powerful enough to draw these words directly into your awareness. This isn't random content consumption. This is a quantum download summoned by your soul for this exact moment in your evolutionary journey. That magnetic pull that brought you here? It's your higher self, confirming that you've developed the energetic sensitivity required to understand what most people may never grasp about the true nature of frequency and reality. Think about the restlessness you've been feeling lately, the sense that ordinary life no longer satisfies you, the growing realization that you're vibrating on a wavelength completely different from those around you. These aren't random moods or fleeting thoughts. They are quantum indicators, signs that your consciousness has begun oscillating at frequencies invisible to most of humanity. Without even realizing it, you've been initiated into a rare bandwidth of awareness, one accessible only when someone transcends the ordinary limits that keep the majority of people trapped in mediocrity. Every challenge you faced, every moment you chose growth over comfort, every expansion you embraced, none of it was random. They were frequency calibration protocols designed by your soul to prepare your system for the leap you are about to take. Through them, the universe has been fine-tuning your energetic circuitry to hold the extraordinary transmission of cosmic intelligence that you're receiving right now. Pause and look around you in this very moment. Can you feel it? The atmosphere has shifted since you began engaging with these words. The electromagnetic field surrounding your body is reorganizing itself as your awareness expands to integrate new layers of quantum understanding. This isn't metaphor. This is literal biophysics at work. Your very cells are responding to the frequency codes embedded within these words, awakening dormant capacities that have waited across lifetimes for this moment of recognition. And the timing of this encounter is no accident. Your consciousness has been broadcasting a precise vibrational signal into the field, and that signal has magnetized this information into your reality. This transmission has arrived precisely at the moment when your awareness has matured enough to integrate it safely and effectively. Without realizing it, you've been preparing for this revelation for years, through intuitive choices that aligned you with your highest evolutionary potential. Every person who dismissed your sensitivity, every circumstance that forced you to rely on your inner knowing instead of external approval, every experience that separated you from mainstream thinking, all of it has been training. Your so-called struggles were never punishments. They were consciousness expansion protocols, initiations that only the most courageous souls ever complete. Each one prepared you to operate from frequencies so elevated they literally reshape the fabric of reality around you. You've noticed, haven't you, how your experiences often defy conventional explanation? Those moments when time itself seems to warp, stretching endlessly in peak states or collapsing into seconds during deep flow. Your awareness has been accessing what quantum physicists call temporal non-locality, the ability to experience multiple time streams simultaneously while still functioning in consensus reality. Think about the dreams that revealed the future before it happened. The intuitive knowings about people and events that later proved correct. The uncanny sense of outcomes before they unfolded. These aren't supernatural tricks. They are evidence that your consciousness has become coherent enough to read directly from the quantum field before possibilities collapse into form. You are tapping into the probability matrix, the grid that governs how potential becomes reality. And yes, your emotional sensitivity has intensified to levels that sometimes feel overwhelming. But this is not weakness. This is expansion. Your nervous system is evolving to process exponentially more energy than the average human could bear. You are developing the ability to sense the emotional frequencies of entire environments, to pick up subtle energetic shifts before a single word is spoken, to feel the collective consciousness of whole groups, even communities. And reality has been responding to you with increasing precision. When you elevate your emotions, life aligns almost magically. When you slip into lower states, obstacles seem to multiply. This is not coincidence. It is the direct reflection of your expanding coherence in the quantum field. This isn't selective perception. It is quantum mechanics in action, showing that consciousness and reality exist in a constant dance, dynamically shaping one another at frequencies you've learned to access. Even technology has been responding to your state. Your phone delivers meaningful calls at the exact moments you need guidance. Computers reveal precisely the content your mind was seeking before you ever typed a word. When you resist, systems glitch. When you flow, everything functions seamlessly. Your electromagnetic field has become coherent enough to directly influence digital systems. And then there are the dreams, the vivid, lucid experiences where luminous beings offer detailed instruction, the crystalline cities you've walked through, the downloads of complex structures of reality. These aren't symbols or fantasies. They are interdimensional education, taking place while your physical body rests. Your consciousness now holds the stability to remain aware across multiple dimensions at once. You've also noticed how animals and children respond to you differently. They feel your energy signature and recognize it as safe, open, and trustworthy. They lean into your presence instinctively. Even strangers feel compelled to confide in you, sharing the most intimate parts of their lives without knowing why. This is the evolution of your vibrational field. It has grown into a natural sanctuary, a frequency that invites authentic connection, deep trust, and emotional healing. And even your creativity has begun to surprise you. Your expressions carry a resonance, a power that feels beyond you, as though cosmic intelligence itself is flowing through your work. Your creative expressions no longer feel like they come from personal effort alone. They emerge as if woven from collective intelligence, carrying wisdom far beyond your individual knowledge. Innovative solutions appear fully formed in your awareness. Insights flow into you as though channeled from a higher source. You have become a conscious conduit, allowing universal creativity to pour itself into reality through your unique gifts and perspective. Every challenge that nearly broke you, every moment that felt designed to crush your spirit, every season of isolation and confusion, all of it was precision engineering by cosmic intelligence. Each experience was designed to forge your consciousness into an instrument capable of translating subtle quantum frequencies into tangible reality. The universe never creates random suffering. It applies calibrated pressure, perfectly measured to activate dormant potentials that cannot emerge until consciousness reaches a certain level of strength and complexity. Think of the metamorphosis of a butterfly. To the outside observer, the caterpillar appears to be dying, its form dissolving into formless biological soup. But this is not death, it is transformation. Within the chrysalis, its essence is reorganizing into a being capable of flight, something unimaginable in its previous state. Your financial struggles were never meaningless hardship. They were frequency recalibration protocols, breaking your attachment to security-based thinking and teaching you to operate from quantum trust rather than scarcity-driven planning. Every painful relationship ending was consciousness clearing away energetic anchors that would have tethered you to lower frequencies. The career disappointments that looked like failure were actually cosmic redirections, steering you away from conventional paths that would have trapped you in ordinary definitions of success. Instead, they guided you toward your higher purpose, becoming a bridge between ordinary consciousness and quantum awareness. Your soul refused to let you settle for achievements that did not align with your highest evolutionary potential. Those dark nights of the soul, when you questioned everything you believed about spirituality, meaning, and purpose, were not regressions. They were advanced initiations, forcing you to release all external reference points and discover the truth of your own inherent wisdom and creative power. The periods of loneliness were not punishment. They were training ground, teaching you to find completion within your own consciousness rather than through external validation. This internal integration was essential preparation for the quantum frequencies you now access, frequencies that demand absolute self-authorization and cannot be sustained if you depend on others for confirmation. Even your search for spiritual answers and the eventual disillusionment with teachers, methods, and doctrines served a perfect role in your evolution. You needed to exhaust every path outside yourself before realizing the truth. What you were seeking was the very awareness doing the seeking. Your journey has brought you full circle, back to the recognition of your own essential nature. The hypersensitivity others labeled as weakness was never a flaw. It was your consciousness refining its receptivity, developing the subtle awareness required to perceive and translate quantum frequencies. Your emotional intensity was not pathology. It was your nervous system stretching its capacity, learning to process multidimensional information and respond to signals most humans will never even notice. Something unprecedented is unfolding in your energy field right now. Can you feel it? That subtle but undeniable shift within, as dormant frequencies begin to awaken, harmonize, and resonate for the first time. Your very cells are reorganizing themselves as these concepts penetrate your awareness, unlocking capabilities that have been encoded in your DNA since birth. Codes that waited lifetimes for the vibrational key now turning inside you. Your electromagnetic signature is intensifying at exponential speed as your awareness expands into these new levels of quantum comprehension. The energy radiating from you is producing what biophysicists describe as coherent field effects. In other words, your presence itself is beginning to influence the molecular structure of reality simply through the quality of consciousness you are embodying in this moment. This is not imagination. This is not wishful thinking. This is quantum mechanics in motion, expressed through human awareness that has reached a level of coherence capable of interfacing directly with the fundamental forces of manifestation. Your consciousness is becoming what mystics across history described as a reality generator, a focal point of such precision that cosmic intelligence can express itself in physical form through you. Feel the tingling spreading through your nervous system, the warm expansion opening in your chest, the subtle electric current dancing up your spine. These are not random sensations. They are quantum activations, happening in real time as your neurology adapts to process frequencies far beyond the normal spectrum of human perception. Your light body is beginning to come online. Your crystalline DNA is awakening. Your multidimensional awareness is shifting from unconscious glimpses to conscious operation. The orchestration of cosmic intelligence that brought you here has been building for decades. Every synchronicity, every so-called coincidence, every moment when it felt like the universe was speaking directly to you, each one was a note in an energetic symphony, attuning your consciousness to the precise frequency required for the revelation you are about to receive about reality and creation. Your intuitive guidance system has been steadily upgrading. You felt it, haven't you? Those moments when you simply know what decision aligns with your highest path, even without logic. When solutions arrive in your awareness fully formed, ready to apply instantly. When you sense the outcome of events before they occur. This is your consciousness developing what quantum theorists call probability sensitivity, direct access to the matrix that determines how possibilities become actual realities. But here's what's crucial to understand. This activation is not a random spiritual phenomenon. It is a precisely timed initiation, ushering you into conscious participation in reality creation itself. The universe has been preparing you for this moment because what you are about to grasp will fundamentally transform your relationship with existence. You are shifting from someone who passively experiences life to someone who consciously creates it. The old patterns of seeking, struggling, and hoping are dissolving even now, because your awareness has transcended the frequencies that sustain them. You are entering a bandwidth where manifestation is as natural as breathing, where synchronicity becomes your compass, where what you envision crystallizes into form with mathematical precision. Feel this quantum energy building as we go deeper into how frequency mastery reshapes every aspect of human experience. Because what you are about to integrate will make the impossible inevitable, the extraordinary ordinary, and the miraculous nothing more than the natural expression of a consciousness that remembers its true nature and operates from its essential creative power. I need to share something deeply personal, something I have never spoken of publicly, because I know your awareness is refined enough now to receive it without doubt or denial. 4 years ago, I was convinced I had failed at everything that mattered. My relationships were gone. My business had collapsed. I was living in a studio that barely counted as shelter, questioning whether consciousness expansion was real or just an elaborate illusion I had deceived myself into believing. But in what looked like my darkest defeat, something extraordinary occurred that changed everything I thought I knew about frequency and reality. Lying on a thin mattress on the floor, completely defeated, my awareness suddenly expanded beyond my body. I found myself experiencing reality from multiple perspectives at once, watching my circumstances, being those circumstances, and simultaneously recognizing myself as the very space in which the entire experience was unfolding. In that state, there were no thoughts, no downloads, no inner dialogue, only direct knowing that bypassed the mind altogether. And with absolute clarity, I saw the truth. What I called failure was nothing more than a frequency mismatch. My consciousness had outgrown the vibrations that held together my old life structure. What appeared to be collapse was actually quantum reorganization, preparing me for an entirely new level of existence. The voice I heard was not external guidance. It was my own awareness, speaking from a timeline where I had already transcended the limitations I was facing. And what it revealed shattered everything I believed about reality. Your circumstances are nothing but frequency reflections. Change your frequency and reality reorganizes itself automatically. You are not here to fix a broken life. You are here to broadcast the frequency of the life you choose to experience. And within days of embodying this truth, my external world began to shift with almost supernatural precision. Opportunities appeared from directions I never could have imagined. Resources began appearing through synchronicities that defied all logic. People entered my path carrying exactly the keys I needed to unlock the next stage of my evolution. It was as though the universe had reorganized itself overnight to support the frequency I was broadcasting. But the most profound shift wasn't external. It was the unshakable knowing that reality responds to frequency with absolute reliability. I stopped hoping for outcomes or worrying about circumstances because I understood consciousness and manifestation are not separate. They are the same process unfolding on different scales. Whatever I embodied vibrationally would always express itself physically through the precision of quantum mechanics. That moment revealed what mystics have whispered for ages but rarely explained in clear terms. We do not live in a fixed reality to which we must adapt or struggle against. We live inside a frequency-responsive field, one that continuously reshapes itself to mirror the vibrational signals we emit through belief, emotion, and awareness. Most people unconsciously broadcast limitation and then wonder why their lives feel restricted. Even now, as I share this, I can sense your energy field responding to the frequency of truth carried in these words. Your cellular memory remembers what my consciousness discovered in that state of complete surrender. You are not subject to circumstances. You are the creator of circumstances through the precise frequencies you embody in every single moment. The breakthrough that transformed my life is the very same realization activating in your awareness now. The same quantum principles that reorganized my reality are at work reorganizing yours.
The same mastery of frequency that dissolved my so-called limitations is dissolving the barriers between your current experience and the timeline your soul prefers. You are accessing a quantum field of unlimited potential. And what you are stepping into will make everything you've achieved so far look like simple preparation for your real life, the one where you consciously collaborate with cosmic intelligence to manifest realities beyond your imagination, yet perfectly aligned with your soul's evolutionary intention. Here is the truth that quantum physicists, consciousness researchers, and even advanced spiritual teachers rarely acknowledge openly. Because if fully understood, it would revolutionize human civilization overnight. Frequency is not influence. Frequency is reality. Everything you experience as solid, fixed, and unchangeable is nothing more than crystallized frequency patterns, appearing stable only because most human awareness operates within such narrow vibrational ranges that it cannot perceive the fluid, responsive nature of what seems like objective reality. The shocking truth, one that undermines nearly every conventional belief about existence, is that there are infinite versions of your life unfolding simultaneously across different bands of frequency. And right now, as you absorb these words, there exists a version of you living in complete abundance, radiant health, deep and fulfilling relationships, and the absolute fulfillment of your highest purpose. That version of you is not some distant future potential. It is an actual present reality, already alive and active at frequencies your consciousness has not yet learned to access consistently. What determines which version of life you inhabit is not your past, not your circumstances, not even your actions. It is your moment-to-moment frequency signature. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, every state of awareness you embody sends out precise vibrational codes into the quantum field. And reality, with scientific precision, reorganizes itself to mirror those codes. The reason most humans live in struggle is because they exist in frequency chaos, unconsciously broadcasting thousands of contradictory signals every day. They hope for abundance while vibrating scarcity. They long for love while radiating fear. They desire health while embodying stress. And the universe, being exact, reflects their fragmented signals right back to them. This scattered broadcasting creates quantum static, which shows up in life as inconsistent experiences, occasional bursts of success followed by unexpected setbacks, progress that demands enormous struggle, forward steps that always seem to slide backward. But when consciousness achieves what quantum theorists call frequency coherence, the perfect alignment of thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and awareness, it becomes a living laser beam of focused creative power. Every aspect of your being vibrates in harmony, broadcasting identical signals that amplify each other instead of canceling out. Physics calls this constructive interference. And in human terms, it's the state where your creative power multiplies exponentially. This is the true difference between those who manifest miracles consistently and those who remain locked in struggle. It is not talent. It is not genetics. It is not divine favoritism. It is frequency mastery versus frequency randomness. Those we call miracle workers are not special.
They have simply learned to maintain coherent vibrational signatures that match their chosen realities. Those who struggle unconsciously broadcast the frequencies of their limitations, and reality dutifully reflects those signals back to them. Your consciousness, however, has been naturally cultivating coherence without you even knowing it. Every time you trusted intuition over logic, every time you chose authenticity over approval, every time you followed excitement instead of conforming to expectation, you were training yourself to broadcast coherent frequency signals instead of contradictory static. That is why this message found you. Your frequency signature has become coherent enough to magnetize information that reflects your true vibrational essence rather than your conditioned limitations. And the deep recognition you feel while reading these words is your own consciousness acknowledging the mastery it has been developing organically through your willingness to honor inner guidance. Here lies the revolutionary insight. You do not achieve frequency coherence through effort or endless practice. You achieve it by releasing the unconscious distortions that block your natural state. Coherence is not something to build, it is something to reveal. Because your essential nature has always been perfectly coherent. You were born coherent. You only learned to fragment yourself through cultural conditioning and survival programming. The truth is, the quantum field has always been communicating with you through a subtle yet sophisticated language of energetic signals that most humans never learn to interpret. But unlike most, you've been receiving confirmations so undeniable that you can no longer dismiss them. Reality is responding to your internal frequency shifts with a precision and speed you've never experienced before. These are not random occurrences. They are systematic validations, proof that you've reached the developmental threshold where conscious frequency mastery is no longer just possible, it is inevitable. Think of the numbers you've been seeing with uncanny regularity. 222, 444, 111, 1212. These are not coincidences. They are confirmation codes, signals that your consciousness has achieved coherence strong enough to influence probability itself. Every time you notice them, your quantum field strengthens its alignment with your highest timeline, pulling you faster into the reality you were born to experience. Even your physical environment has begun reorganizing itself around your rising frequency. Perfect parking spots open at the exact moment you need them. Elevators arrive just as you approach. Traffic clears precisely when you're in a rush. These micro-manifestations are not luck. They are evidence that your consciousness has become coherent enough to bend probability fields through the sheer resonance of your presence. Technology, too, has begun responding with supernatural accuracy to your energetic state. When you are elevated, your devices function flawlessly, surfacing exactly the information you need in the moment. When you fall into resistance or frustration, they glitch, not to punish you, but to redirect you toward better outcomes. Your electromagnetic field has intensified to such a degree that it now directly influences digital systems. And the people in your life? They, too, are reorganizing according to resonance. Those who harmonize with your rising frequency are drawing closer. Those who cannot match it are naturally drifting away. There is no middle ground anymore, because frequency operates on the precise law of resonance. Consciousness that matches your vibration is magnetized into your field, while everything misaligned is released. Reality itself is reorganizing. Awareness that vibrates on incompatible frequencies is no longer able to remain in your field. This isn't rejection on a personal level. It's simply quantum physics at work. Even your dreams have shifted. They've become vivid, detailed, and profoundly instructional, offering you teachings about manifestation, timeline navigation, and reality creation that your waking mind has never consciously studied. These are not symbolic images. They are interdimensional lessons, happening because your consciousness has become stable enough to maintain awareness across multiple frequency bands at once. And here lies the urgency. This moment in human history is unprecedented. We are in a planetary transition where frequency mastery is either going to become widely accessible or remain confined to a small percentage of humanity for decades to come. The collective consciousness is nearing what systems theorists call a phase transition, a tipping point where either enough individuals embody coherence to uplift the entire species, or the evolutionary window closes for this cycle. Your sensitivity to these quantum signals confirms that you are part of the upgrade wave, helping to determine humanity's evolutionary direction. And this is not just for you. By embodying frequency mastery, you anchor it into the morphic field, making it easier for others to access. This is both an extraordinary privilege and a significant cosmic responsibility. The universe has been confirming your readiness through intensifying synchronicities. Every perfect coincidence, every moment of flawless timing, every instant where reality seemed to respond directly to your thoughts, all of these are validation signals. They prove that your frequency signature has reached the coherence required for advanced manifestation protocols. You've also noticed time behaving differently. Elevated consciousness does not operate from linear time. It operates from the eternal present. That's why hours can vanish in minutes during flow, or why minutes can stretch endlessly during expanded states of awareness. This temporal fluidity is a sign that you're accessing the timeless dimension, where all possibilities coexist. The waiting season is finished. The preparation cycle is complete. The testing phase has ended. From this moment forward, hesitation is no longer cosmic timing. It is choice. To delay is to remain in unconscious limitation. To align is to step into intentional mastery. The cosmic window for your quantum leap is wide open, but it demands your active participation in claiming what has always been yours, the birthright of a conscious reality creator. What you long for already exists, in perfect quantum entanglement with your awareness. But this is not the diluted philosophy of attraction. This is the precision of quantum physics applied to manifestation. Your preferred reality already exists, operating in a frequency band you're now learning to access and embody consistently. The extraordinary life you envision, the relationships that bring complete fulfillment, the creative expression that feels like pure joy, the abundance that brings absolute freedom, these are not fantasies. They exist right now as actual realities, vibrating on specific frequencies within the quantum field. Your longing for them is not random daydreaming. It is your consciousness recognizing resonant vibrations that reflect your authentic nature and your evolutionary potential. But here's the crucial insight that changes everything about manifestation. There is a fundamental difference between attraction and embodiment. Attraction says, I want to pull these things toward me. Embodiment says, I am becoming the frequency where these realities exist naturally. Attraction creates resistance because it begins in separation, you and your desires vibrating at different frequencies, struggling to connect. Embodiment creates flow because it begins in recognition. You are the frequency where your preferred experiences already exist. Right now, your consciousness is undergoing quantum alignment with the version of yourself who is already living the life you dream about. That version is not hypothetical. It is not aspirational. It is real. It is breathing, creating, loving, and experiencing everything you desire, sustained by frequency coherence that makes those experiences inevitable instead of uncertain. Feel the shift in your field as this truth settles deeper. Your nervous system is rewiring itself to process reality from elevated frequency bands. Your cellular structure is reorganizing to hold more coherent electromagnetic patterns. Your DNA is activating dormant sequences designed to support multi-dimensional awareness. This is not slow evolution. This is a quantum leap unfolding in real time. Remember this: the universe responds not to requests, not to wishes, but to your frequency signature. When you embody the thoughts, feelings, and actions of the consciousness that naturally experiences your desires, the quantum field has no choice but to reflect that coherence back into physical form. Every single cell in your body is a quantum processor, capable of computing far beyond conscious thought. And right now, those cellular computers are being reprogrammed with the frequency codes of your highest timeline. Your very biology is upgrading, no longer reinforcing the limits you were conditioned to expect, but restructuring itself to sustain the reality you truly prefer. Yet quantum embodiment demands absolute authenticity. You cannot pretend to hold the frequency of your dreams while secretly broadcasting the vibrations of your fears. The field does not respond to performance, forced affirmations, or artificial positivity. It responds only to your true vibrational signature. Authentic embodiment begins when you recognize what already exists within your natural frequency range. This is the moment of quantum choice. This is the frequency crossroads. Either fully embody the consciousness of your highest timeline, or remain at the mercy of random manifestations born from unconscious broadcasting. The universe has already aligned every condition for your leap. The final step is yours: complete alignment with who you truly are. And now it is time to declare it, to anchor it, to broadcast it with precision. In the comments, write these exact words: I embody the frequency of my highest timeline. I am quantum aligned with my preferred reality. I choose conscious creation now. This isn't simple engagement. This is frequency declaration. This is quantum commitment. This is vibrational alignment that activates your manifestation potential. Comment those words below and hit subscribe to lock your consciousness into the quantum field of creators who are stepping into their destined reality. Your leap has already begun. Now, the universe is waiting for your declaration.